You're on camera.
I'm on camera.
Seriously,
Okay.
right now? On the camera.
This is a capping class on how to get 100% commission. And it's Zachary Betts and Michael McCoy.
Hello.
And we're here to discuss back and forth on how we both achieved where we could cap. Mike's capped in as fast as 2.5 months. And how many years in a row have you capped now?
4.
4 years in a row.
4 years in a row capped.
Okay. I capped one, I'm about to cap 2 years in a row. Okay. What was one of the biggest things that helped you to cap?
Consistency. Coming to the office, knowing my goals, sticking with the goals, and basically working towards the goals.
So there's no real magic thing in there. It's kind of really what's in the MREA book.
Pretty much, it's what's in the red book. Yeah,
It's in the red book.
read the red book.
So it's not something, there's no magic, there's no little pill or button. You just have to come in and kind of work.
It is, but it also, a lot of it for this year, especially to do it in 45 days, was to make sure that I had the right split and know my numbers, which I'm sure you're going to get into. But basically having, knowing that, because many years, you said I had 4 years in a row, but I'd always cap at the end of the cycle, basically. So it basically didn't make any sense. When I pulled back from an 85 split then to something more traditional, done, 2.5 months.
Okay. So I don't know if a lot of people really get it and understand it, but the first half of the MREA book is about our mindset.
Right, exactly. The mindset is huge. You have to see it to get it.
And see, and what you were able to do was then able to take that time period instead of 9 months or 10 months and cap it in a shorter time period because of the mindset.
Exactly.
So it's more about up here than it is anything else. And that's one of the biggest things that I think for any of us to get is to really understand that our job is up here and not as much out there.
Well, there's so many things that are going to come in the way. Basically, you're going to have, and they're always going to
Life.
be there. Life's going to be there. There's going to be emails. There's going to be things that hit. You have to really time block and make this job a priority. The most important part of the job. The part of the job that most people find the priority is that they get the deal in escrow and then they babysit. Whereas when you can let go of some of that and let that happen on its own, then you can grow.
Okay. So between doing the MREA book, the MREA class, where we were discussing the book, and Bold, it was a combination thereof.
It is, absolutely, yeah. I mean, Bold is huge. I would recommend Bold to anybody who's in the real estate business or any sales, actually, for that matter, because it gives you the scripts and basically the ability to hone your craft. I was doing what I was doing, but I was all over the place. I was like a fish out of water, flopping around, basically, not really hanging on to what would actually work, trying to find new ways and formulas to make things work. But you read the red book and you take the Bold class and you learn your scripts and your dialogues and it just...
There you're following a model with creativity instead of creativity without a model.
Exactly, same thing, yeah, totally. So, but again, it's the red book. You just read the red book and you follow the model and the model works. Go figure.
So basically we have to work on our minds and then we can work on our numbers. So the numbers are easy. Here's the numbers.
Yeah, no, the numbers, but that was a huge aha for me, the numbers, because again, you're trying to do this and not knowing what your numbers are, you don't know what you need to get, so you have to make sure that you have to get 22, like we had discussed probably right when I hit my anniversary date. I've got to do 22. I wrote a 22 on my board and I worked backwards. And every day I did whatever I needed to do to get that number down.
And so you set a goal, knew exactly what you needed, right here, 22 homes.
Right.
Now the reason we base it on 22 homes is because in our market, the average sales price is 125. The average commission
Do we have to film that?
in our market is 2.75% is our average commission. So you need 22 houses because this is how much you're paying into your cap at a 70-30 split. Now, if you have an 80-20 split, you're only paying in $687.50. It takes you 32 houses to cap. And then if you're really ridiculous and you negotiated a 90-10, I don't don't wanna work that hard. 64 houses?
I've been there.
I don't
No.
wanna work that hard.
I've been there, I've been here, and this is the one that worked.
So if you're at a 70-30 split, you're gonna cap at 22 houses. You wanna cap faster? 60-40, 16 houses. And you wanna get ridiculous? 13 houses on a 50-50 split.
Do the math though. Think about what's on the other side of the cap, basically. Take how much more you're gonna make per sale after you cap, and take the number of months left. Do the math. It makes complete sense even to go to 50%.
Because here's the other thing that most people don't factor in. The average agent, once they cap, do you realize they have a 25% increase in business because they work harder? Because they're making more money. Interesting factor, isn't it?
Imagine if you took that out of the equation then, and you put your mind into the place where you were already capped.
Yeah.
You could raise your business by 25% today.
And then there you are. See, one of the things that helped me to cap, because these numbers kind of kicked my butt a little bit, I forgot about these numbers. I just focused on closing transactions. All I focused on was closing transactions. Until I got later in the year, and then I saw I was really close, then I could do it. Mike looked at the beginning of the year and said, oh, all I need is 22, I'm gonna go tear off 22 deals, and I'm gonna get them done. And that's what he did. Either way, it's knowing your numbers. You need to know how many you are to cap. Now, if you go to 250,000 as your average sales price, you cap at 11 houses.
And that's again focusing on what you want to sell. You could basically just sell those $250,000 houses. It's all mindset. It's really what you put your efforts into, you're going to get out of it. So you don't have to sell $100,000 houses.
And just as a side thing, our royalty is only 6%, whereas all of our competitors, who we won't name, are at 9%. We cap at $3,000 on our royalty. It takes you 14 houses to cap on your royalty.
And you cap that royalty. What was the figure, Zach, per transaction?
It's $206.
206. Yeah.
That's how much you pay into royalty, into corporate, is $206 per house.
Mel's getting us $206 out of his pocket.
You
ready to go, man?
And if you sell $250,000 homes, it takes you 7.2 houses to cap on your royalty. So now, that's if you only represent one side. If you represent both sides, okay, these numbers get smaller because those count at two deals.
Right.
Every time you double in something, it's 2 transactions instead of just 1. So, do you guys have any questions on this, on how this works, what the numbers are?
Yes.
Yes.
That number right behind Mike there, the 50-50, 60-40,
Yeah.
that's our split with the.
With the office.
With the broker,
office.
yeah.
So
That's the-
what
that's the
control-
broker's
How do
split.
we control that?
Well,
That's up to you. I mean,
Well, what I mean is like right now, you know, I'm at what, 70-30.
okay,
So what do I do? Go say I wanna pay you,
60-40.
yeah.
You
You
can.
go sit down with Nina, that's her privilege,
Mhm.
and you say, okay, I wanna be at 60-40 because I know I'm gonna cap.
It's exactly what I did when I started my anniversary, and I took a class and it said 22 houses, all you need to go. So I said, okay. And I saw my team leader and said, reduce me down, because I think I was up here, 90 something, and you know, that's ridiculous.
So we have some say in that matter.
Yeah, you
I
do.
mean, with.
They really don't want agents to go to an 80-20.
Right.
We had a bunch of agents at 80-20. 90-10 from a business model does not work at the office.
Mhm.
You cannot support this office on a 90-10 split. Can't do it.
Now, if you were dealing with higher priced homes.
Even if you were dealing with higher price homes, you really can't support this office on a 90-10 split.
Okay.
If we were selling $1 million homes, we could get by with it, but if we were selling $1 million homes, we would probably get more services from the office. Okay?
Mhm.
The guys that sell let's say like Glendale, let's take Glendale for example. Glendale's cap is $36,000. But Glendale's average sales price is $650,000. That's 5 to 1, and they're not 5 times as much cap. Their office rent is more. To be an agent at their office costs you $125 a month, whereas our office, it's what? $25 a month, because the rent's higher.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to adjust certain factors in there. If you were to really look at an office and run this office right here, just to pay for the building and staff is about 20 grand a month. Okay, building, staff, internet. How many deals would we have to close at a 90% split? If that's all that's coming into the office? How many transactions? Would errors and admissions insurance get covered and stuff like that? So you got offices out there that are doing this nonsense, how long are they gonna be alive?
The thing is, what kind of agent do you want to be? Do you want to just make $300? I mean, if you want to sell one house a month, be 90-10. But then again, we can't afford to have you, so you might as well go. But the thing is that you're at Keller Williams, you have an ability, you know, I mean, you can be the 22 house agent and then just sit back and watch the money pile up. And that's what we're about. So, you know, you don't want this. You want to be somewhere in here. And it took a lot for me to make that decision, but, you know, it's like a light bulb went off. And I was like, why am I doing that when I can make 20% down the road every month? Free.
And even if you only get 1 month, and you can close 4 or 5 transactions at 1 month, okay? 5 transactions at not paying in this, or not paying in this, how much more money did you make? Okay? That's what I did last year. I had 6 transactions closed where I got that much extra. That was over 6 grand in 1 month by capping.
I'm going to have 10 months this year.
Yeah, he is. He's getting ridiculous.
I'm gonna close 12 this month.
So,
See, and then again, there's that 25% increase in business.
it's true. It's totally true. Oh, yeah. And once you ramp up your business to get to that level, there's no coming back. I mean, you're just going to find business and business is going to find you. It's ridiculous. And so, yeah, just go for it.
Any other questions? Now, how many of you up here think you can cap now? Okay. Now, what are your action steps? First step is to make a decision. I can cap. Now, what's your action steps? That's going to be what's going to clearly define how you get here.
Have you guys read the Red Book recently?
Well, I'm reading the Red Book over again.
I
read it
mean,
before a long time ago, but I'm reading it
Always.
over again.
Every August I read it, you know, because September is when my cap starts again. So every August I read it. And, you know, there's always something out of it. You're a new agent, right? Have you read the Red Book?
No.
No? Okay. What are you going to do tomorrow? Read the Red Book?
We recommend it. Reading that Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. There is a Millionaire Real Estate Agent discussion group on Facebook. We've done the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book club last year. We're going to do it again this year. Recommend being there, because that was a big thing that worked it for Mike. What worked it for me is I went to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent business planning with
Bruce Hardy.
Somebody.
Bruce Hardy.
Bruce Hardy.
Oh, yeah, Bruce is great. Yeah.
Okay, and I came to the office and I had this whole thing done with numbers. I totally did all my numbers for the year. And I realized I could cap. And I had to put aside some notions that other people said that the model doesn't work in our marketplace. The model does work in our marketplace, because if the book is written at this and you can cap at 11 houses, you can still cap at 13 houses here in our marketplace. And when I did my taxes and I looked at where I was at in the model, the only place I was off was cost of sale. And the reason I was off on cost of sale is because it took me too long to cap. And that model works if you take your numbers and you keep your numbers within those specs. You can do it. Everybody in this office, if they so chose, and made the decision and then followed up with action steps, can cap. That's all it takes.
The action steps, yes?
5 minutes.
The action steps I would take are basically, for me, is work backwards. Make your goal, set it, put the action steps in place, and make sure you know exactly what it's going to take to get it, how much money you have to make.
How many phone calls you gotta make, how many doors you gotta knock on, how many people within your sphere of influence you need to contact every month.
And if you're getting in front of these people and you're not converting, then it's scripts. It's all it is. It's not you personally, it's not something that's inside you. Your own worst enemy, your biggest worst enemy is yourself. So don't let yourself beat yourself up. Go out there and get it. And if you're not making it happen, it's just scripts. Learn the scripts, learn your craft, be number one at what you do. It takes commitment. So,
And consistency.
exactly. Thanks, you guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Turn that off.
Oh, this one.